So you might say, well, I already have a waiver in Missouri, and there's several waivers. There's the Children's Waiver, the Partnership for Hope, the Community Support Waiver. Those are all have a cap. They only have so much money, and you can only use them for so many different services. The Comprehensive Waiver is the only waiver that provides services for residential, which is more of the 24/7 support. And it also has these other services that are included in there, which all of these you can get with other waivers, with the exception of residential. So you may already be receiving some services such as day-hab services or transportation or respite, or to name a few. So what are the steps to access a waiver? First off, you have to have Medicaid. So if you don't have Medicaid and you want services through a waiver and you need 24/7 support, you would want to go to, and Brian can give you this link to get the application to be able to put an application in. That information that you're putting into that application is information just about yourself or your family member. So it's about the person who's requesting Medicaid. It's not based on anyone else's resources or income. If you receive a return letter for additional information, pay attention to timelines. They are very strict on timelines. They don't always follow theirs, but they're very strict on the timelines that they will give you. And you must meet that timeline or you'll have to restart that whole process over again. So after you have Medicaid and you want to apply to be a client of the Department of Mental Health Regional Office. So today there are more than just one case management service in St. Louis County. There used to be just the Department of Mental Health, but now there is another. It's called Center for Human Services. But to become a client, you first have to apply with the Department of Mental Health, and they will assign you a case manager. So you have to have Medicaid to become a client of DMH regional office. But those are the numbers to call to be able to request a service coordinator. So access to a waiver. So if you now have a case manager, to request a waiver, you have to have a support coordinator or a service coordinator. And that service coordinator will, one, within your ISP, or write an addendum on the ISP about the services that you're requesting and why you need those services. So they have to justify the need for that. In the past, they did these different assessments, which was the MOCABI. They did a priority of needs assessment. Those are not the assessment that they're using anymore. They now are using a Missouri Adaptive Ability Scale, and that is replacing the MOCABI. And that assessment will provide several different things. One is going to assess you or your family member about what your abilities are and what kind of supports that you need. So there will be a score that comes from that, which will then help establish a rate. And what this rate is either an hourly rate for an ISL or a group home rate, daily rate for the services that you would be receiving under that comprehensive waiver. It also is going to provide a prioritization of need score, and both of those scales are on 1 to 5, with 5 being either the most need and or the highest level of support.